welcome back to this week's episode of the Cherry City Punch. I'm your host, Robert Sahlberg.
And this is Heather Toller.
And we are getting ready for some really exciting interviews this week. We have Taylor Pauly and Krista Karshnia from Keizer Homegrown Theater, and they're going to be here to talk about the show that opened this past Thursday called Time Stands Still. And then we're going to have Mark Green and some of his students on from the River City Rock Academy.
So we have a good show today.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting, I think. We've got a lot of interviews. And then, of course, Isaac's back with a little bit of Isaac's Corner.
So yes, we're very excited.
It'll be interesting to see what he has to say this week.
Hopefully he'll be nicer to us this week.
I told Isaac that in Isaac's Corner, he should just allude to people rather than using first names. So
yes,
part of your guess is going to have to
help if
figure out who Isaac is talking about in this week's Isaac's Corner.
It might be a challenge for everyone.
Heather, what's coming up on the calendar?
Well, we have a lot going on. Actually, we are, as you mentioned, we're going to interview Time Stands Still, the folks there, and they opened on Thursday, and they're going to be running through the 12th. Also, we have The Diary of Anne Frank, which just opened up at Pinnacle Theater yesterday, and that will actually be running through to the 26th. We actually saw it last night.
Oh, it was
powerful piece. You really don't want to miss it. Keep in mind, it's probably going to sell out pretty well, but at the same time, Wednesday and Thursday evening performances, you're usually going to get a good seat. So
I think that going back to Anne Frank, having been there last night, it's really rare, I think, in Salem to where it's we do these shows and popular titles especially people will flock to. It's a powerful show. Mm-hmm. It's got a strong message. It's timely. Anne Frank hasn't lost any of that meaningfulness in that show, but I think the exhibit downstairs, there's a full exhibit in the lobby. And then there's also a video that's shown, and then they've got a really cool tent with lights and stuff outside.
Yes.
So, I mean, going to see Anne Frank, it's going to be popular. It's going to sell out, but there's an educational aspect to that show that you would only really be able to see in a larger, probably metropolitan area. Mm-hmm. It's really something that would happen in Portland, Seattle, Chicago, New York. There's a piece of the Anne Frank Museum in our in the Pentacle Theater lobby that I thought was really, really powerful. But they did a phenomenal job last night.
Yes, you don't want to miss the show. Also, we do have auditions for it looks like auditions for Pinnacle Theater's production of The Rainmaker is going to be March 12th. Also wanted to mention that North Salem High School, they just opened up Shrek, the musical, which opened March 3rd. It's going to run also through March 12th. Looks like there's a matinee on the 12th as well as an evening performance. Also, CET, Children's Educational Theater, on the 12th, they're going to have walk-in registrations on that day.
And right now they really have room for 3rd and 4th graders and middle school kids. So 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. next Saturday at South Salem High School, March 12th.
Don't want to miss it. And also, we wanted to talk about other things besides theater. So right now, it's actually an exciting time for Salem Art Association's spring exhibition. So there's the Young Artist Showcase, which is going to be opening on March 11th through April 30th.
And Heather and I attended the Clay Ball last Saturday night
yes.
for the Salem Art Association's big fundraiser. That was fun.
It was fun. It's you don't want to miss the Young Artist Showcase. I've actually seen it before. It's really exciting to see students from all over the area and their artwork. And there's actually programs through the Art Association that help with the student art programs in several schools around the area. So it's a great program. Also, they're going to have Nancy Norman out there. She has some artwork that you're probably familiar with because she uses animals and beautiful, vivid colors. So you want to check that out as well. Also, as far as music's concerned, we have at the Willamette University, they are going to be hosting an opera called the Hotel Casablanca, which is actually going to be on March 10th and March 11th.
Starring Madison Hall, somebody we've worked with before.
We have worked with Break Legs Madison, but also other people are in it as well. So that being said, there's lots in the community, lots to do, and we want to make sure that you have access to all the information. You can probably Google those events to find out more. So with that being said, we're going to go to our next interview. Hello, our next guests are from Keizer Homegrown Theater. Their next production of Time Stands Still actually opened this last Thursday. We have Taylor Pauley, and we also have Krista Karshnia.
Well
I got
done.
it correct?
Yes, you did.
We were really nervous about that one. Thank you so much for coming on our show.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like I said, your show opened on Thursday,
Yes,
and it's playing till next Saturday, the 12th
It is.
of
Yep.
March.
We have tonight at 7 p.m. Saturday. We've got tomorrow Sunday matinee, and then next weekend Thursday through Saturday.
And what times are you guys' shows?
7 o'clock for our evening performances. Matinee tomorrow will be at 2.
Great. So tell me a little bit about the show, because the subject matter, it's contemporary,
Yes.
obviously.
Yeah,
so.
we were really interested in doing something a little more contemporary. The subject matter of this one, I actually found the show looking at recent Tony nominees. I wanted to see what's recently been on Broadway. And so I found this one from 2009. It's a Donald Margulies play. He wrote Dinner with Friends. He's done a lot of Broadway straight plays. And so this one was really interesting to me because it focused on very relevant issues. So it's talking about journalists who have been primarily in the Middle East, and they've been working with refugees and taking pictures and telling stories that are really, current. So the kind of the action begins with our lead, who's played by Krista, Sarah, who has been in a roadside bomb attack, and so she's coming home hurt and injured, and she's needs to be taken care of by her partner James, and so kind of it comes in with their struggle of getting used to a life at home and the realities of that life versus the life that they live back at home. So, yeah.
Awesome. Now, this is your second production with Keizer Homegrown Theater, or
no, this is 5th or 6th.
Oh, okay. So you've done quite a bit out there.
Yeah.
Now, can you both of you tell me just a little bit about Keizer Homegrown Theater? How long has it been around?
Yeah, I believe this is our 5th full season. This is a big one for us. We're doing 5 shows this year, so
wow.
we're getting a little more ambitious. But yeah, we're trying to do a mix of shows. We want to do some things that are relevant and contemporary, but we really want to do some things that people are interested in. So, we had a musical, we've done Always Patsy Cline, which was really fun, and brought in a lot of different people than, a show like this will bring in. So we're just trying to appeal to an audience that enjoys quality theater and wants to come and think about a show. We love for people to come and enjoy it, but we also want them to leave with something more. So,
Krista, with this particular character, I imagine that because of the trauma that she's suffered, the character suffered, just tell us a little bit about how you prepared for the role. Even though you were kind of inserted into the production, it sounds like a little bit later.
Right. I didn't come into the production until late, but when you try to think about the people that are overseas, the civilians that are overseas, putting themselves in the same sort of position that our soldiers are in wartime, you can really familiarize with that, how scary that would be. But Sarah is really confident in it. Like, this is her calling. This is what she's always wanted to do. So pulling confidence has never been hard for me. So, however, coming home and being damaged and being broken, and then trying to assimilate into what is considered a normal life, that's where the struggle is. And it was hard, but I had a fantastic director. I had great castmates to work with. And so they made it a lot easier than it could have been.
Now, who else is in the show?
we have Paul Malone, who's playing James. Michael Swanson is playing Richard, and Hannah Patterson is playing Mandy. So,
Okay.
Yep.
What do you think the audiences, if there's a message in this play, what do you want people to take away from it?
For me, it's that it's a small show, 4 characters, and everyone has something to say that you can relate to. Mm-hmm. So I love that it's a show about a bigger message, but really it's boiled down to just how these characters relate to each other and how they kind of have to assimilate to different situations, and it just tells real struggles with kind of a broader message.
And it sounds like it's something that is obviously contemporary and relatable to what is actually happening today with embedded reporters and coming back and obviously being injured. Right. Your character's injured in the war zone, right?
Yes.
And so you want to talk a little bit about maybe what to expect as far as seeing injury?
Oh, sure.
Well, how I'm physically set up is, she's had shrapnel in her face, so she's had, burns and scars because of that. My entire leg is in a cast. My foot is in a boot. My arm is in a sling through the entire first act. Wow. So
you really wanted her to have lots of mobility.
Yeah, So there's crutches and I can't walk across the stage. I can't do anything without asking somebody for help. So, but how the makeup is applied and how everything is taken care of, it's not like grotesque. It's not scary.
Yeah.
It's something that you'd be like, oh my gosh, she's been changed from something outside of her own reality. So
That's great. What do you think the audience reaction in this kind of contemporary show, seeing it now where it's very relatable and not something that we're seeing that might be a dated drama from the 1960s that's about war, but it's kind of on our forefront right now still. So what do you think their reactions are?
I talked to a lady last night after the production, and it was really interesting. She said she was really uncomfortable, and the reason why was that she felt like she didn't want to be seeing a show about this, but she was really glad that she was, because she was struggling with these are important things, but I don't want to feel responsible for that, and that's such a struggle with these characters too. One of my favorite characters is Mandy. She's playing the younger kind of set up to be kind of the trophy wife, but she's not. She's got a lot behind her, but she's a younger character amongst these people that are experienced and worldly, and she comes into it with this very open opinion that the audience can really relate to. What she speaks is kind of how we all feel. So hearing the audience kind of relate to that, where they say, I wish I could do more, but I'm here, so that's good, and that's kind of, it was interesting to feel.
You're not
that.
ignoring the situation at that point. You're actually face to face.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that's what theater has to do, though, is it has to put us in situations that, even if it's not something that we're comfortable seeing, that we want to see, that's necessarily just light and entertaining, but it puts us in those situations where we do feel uncomfortable, and we kind of have to process that as audience members and put ourselves in those situations.
That was so important to us in choosing the show.
Yeah.
So.
Well, tell us a little bit more about Keizer Homegrown and the season that you're going to have this next year. Like you said, 5 shows this season, which is great news. And you actually, for the most part, you did 1 round of auditions for the entire season.
We did, we tried something a little different. We did an open audition, kind of a group audition, and so we had a really good response to that. So we kind of auditioned our whole season, and so we've got a lot of small cast shows. With Patsy Cline, which was already cast, we've got 4 in Time Stand Still. Then we've got our ending of our season is The Guys, which is just a 2-person show that tells kind of the story of a fire captain who was part of the 9/11 response. So really intense, but really beautifully told. So, and then we've got our kind of fun, we've got Shakespeare in the Park, which we do at the Keizer Amphitheater, Keizer Rapids Park, and that's 12th night. So that should
Are
be a
all
lot
of the
fun.
shows this season at Chemeketa?
No, we're still looking for our permanent home, so we bounce around a little bit. But we're going to be at Chemeketa again for, I believe, The Guys. I think we're still kind of searching for a home for that. But we always post on our Facebook page, on our website, KeizerHomegrownTheater.org. We'll have all of our information on there.
Are there opportunities for people? So auditions are over, shows are cast. Are there opportunities to get involved in other ways backstage? In the tech area, volunteers, and how do people get involved in that aspect if they want to volunteer with Keizer Homegrown but not be on stage?
Reach out to us anywhere. KeizerHomegrownTheater.org, our Facebook page. We've got an email address. It's on our website. Come to one of our shows. Talk to us there.
Do that.
We'd
Come
love that.
to the
Yeah,
shows.
come to a show. Talk to us there. Yeah. So
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on our show today. And once again, to get tickets, go onto your website.
Yep.
Okay.
Tickets are sold at the door. So
And sold at the door as well. Awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you, guys.
Hello. Welcome our next guest from the River City Rockstar Academy. And I'm going to actually have you all introduce yourselves. So we'll start with you.
I'm Julia Miller. I'm a senior at South Salem High School.
I'm Danielle Green. I'm a sophomore at West Salem.
I'm Isaac King. I'm a junior at South Salem High School. And I'm Mark Green. I'm one of the co-founders of River City Rockstar Academy.
Great.
Welcome.
Thank you all so much for being here today. Well, I'm really excited because you recently had an anniversary in early February, right?
Yes.
So you've been around for a year. Mark, just real quickly, do you want to tell us about how you came to be here in Salem?
Sure. Well, we started, like I said, about a year ago, and Danielle here is my daughter, and she's been doing music pretty much all her life, and theater and all that. And about 4.5 years ago, she started doing a rock star kind of a academy up in Portland, and did that, and really enjoyed it. And as a family, we thought, well, this is really great, a lot of fun, and something different, and a way to continue music. And so we still do that, but we said, well, how about coming down to Salem? And they said, no, we're not really interested in doing anything in Salem. So we said, that's kind of a challenge. People that live in Salem, like, okay, that's a challenge. So
Driving to Portland is rough.
Exactly. We talked about it, and we said, let's maybe give this a chance. And so we thought about it, worked on it for about 2 years, and finally got everything in place and put the word out. And all of a sudden, we had 15 students show up the first night, and they didn't know what they were expecting and what they were getting themselves into, and it just kind of went from there.
Well, so tell me a little bit about, so exactly what is it? So I think some people are probably wondering, what are the classes like? So if any of you want to jump in and let us know, what would you expect if you were going to enroll in the Rockstar Academy?
Basically, we just practice a song or a bunch of songs. We have about 22 right now.
Oh, wow.
And you just rehearse the songs as a group, and you kind of change up the groups every song, and then you have a performance at the end.
Oh,
And
that's awesome.
is it geared for people that already know an instrument, or are there novices that come in and learn?
So we have now we have 4 different programs. So the program that everybody here represents is the Rockers program. So those are for students that are 12 to 18, intermediate to advanced. So they've played some instruments, done some music, or done something like that. But it's the first time they ever played in a band. And so the thing is, we can get anybody playing an instrument and playing a song, no matter what their level is. And then they are also really encouraged to do different things. So Isaac here is a fantastic drummer. And, he drums a lot. We say, Isaac, hey, get on the keyboards, do some singing. And we really encourage the kids to do something different and try it, and they're really open to that.
That's awesome.
And so we do it for 12 weeks. We have kind of a set list that we put together based on what we're trying to teach, as well as what the students are interested in. And then we practice for 3 hours a night, 1 night a week. And then at the end of it, they do a show. And these guys hammered out 18 songs already in
Wow.
6 weeks.
Oh,
And we
goodness.
said, let's do more. So we have 22 songs, and everything from, let's see, what do we got going this time?
Benatar, and we got some Metallica,
Rush.
some Bowie.
All kinds.
And are the song influences a mix of kind of all the kids in the group and kind of what ideas that you have? Is there
little bit
kind of
of
a
both.
driving force
Yeah.
as far as how you pick your music?
So tell me, what instruments or how do you guys interact? So what instrument do you play?
So when starting the program, I had some basic guitar skills and singing and stuff, and some basic piano skills. And I started playing bass. I was put on bass on one of the songs, and I realized that bass is amazing, and I love it. So now I'm playing bass on 6 of the songs.
Oh, that's awesome.
I play guitar, bass, and I sing.
Awesome. Isaac?
I play drums, keys, and I sing.
Awesome. Great. So now you've had some performances throughout the year. Sounds like you've done everything from TED Talks to other events in the community. Do you have something coming up that you'd like to tell everyone about?
Yeah, we have a show next Saturday at Shotsky's,
Oh,
and it's a free show.
that's
It's
awesome.
at 5 o'clock. Yep.
And Shotsky's is downtown. It's the old Lefties
Yes.
On
on
State
State
Street.
Street.
That's right.
Cool.
So we'll do a show there, and the kids will probably play for about an hour. And then we have our final season show on April 9th. And that's when they'll play the full set of music. And that's at Level B, or the Space.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
We'll also have our other program the night before, which is Pop Rocks for 6 to 11-year-olds, 8 to 14 is another program, Young Rockers, and then also our adult program.
Oh, wow.
So if I wanted to be a rock star, I could join.
You can do
Yes.
it. Yes.
So you have a season. It sounds like things stop in April, and then do you take the summer off, or is there
No,
a summer offering?
We start up again April 18th, and then we'll go through the summer, and we got some really great gigs already booked out for the summer,
Wow.
playing in town. So it's going to be really a lot of fun this summer.
So has this taken off in a totally different way than you thought it would when you first started it? You had 15 kids. How many do you have now? After a
We
year?
right now are dealing with about 40-some students on a weekly basis.
So you've doubled your numbers in a year.
And the community has been just so supportive of this. You know, Salem has an amazing arts and music community, and they've been really supportive. And it's been the thing that's really been fun for us, for Karen and I and our families, is meeting a lot of people we wouldn't meet normally that are really committed to music. So this is just an outlet for kids and for teens and adults, and just to do something different.
Well, and Salem Keizer School District music is so strong, but it's so focused on the classical orchestra, band, choir sound,
Which is great also.
which is wonderful.
Yeah.
But I think it's a really cool outlet for the musical kids to do something that's maybe more modern and more contemporary and more challenging than what they're doing just in their school programs.
Right.
I'm really curious too. You said that you discovered that you love the bass. Are there other students in the area that have had this new discovery as a result of this class? Like any success stories that you can think of? Because I know sometimes it really helps people to feel like they have a community as well, or something to go to. So I can imagine that's really.
Yeah, it's such a supportive place, and the instructors are really good about pushing you and giving you the opportunity to try something new. I feel especially to chase there's people who just had never played an instrument who are playing instruments on songs. It's just a fun way to learn, actually playing with a band and having a performance opportunity.
That's awesome. Now, I think that you mentioned that there is the possibility of more of an integration or collaboration with the Boys and Girls Club.
Yes.
As well.
So yes, we've been, again, blessed by the community. We've had somebody that has come forward, and somebody I've known for a long time, and he also has an interest in helping the community. And he said, I'd like to get you working with the Boys and Girls Club. So he put together a fund and working with the Boys and Girls Club, and they've selected some students to come to our program. And it's been great. I mean, they come out, and those kids actually, the two students we have right now, will be in this program next time because they've really accelerated. They're just having a great time. They love the music program, and it's been great working with the Boys and Girls Club.
Have you guys been able to take back what you've learned at River City into your school and maybe changed how you approach that music, or is it kind of is it pretty separate?
I feel like it's pretty separate just because of the different styles, but it's interesting to see other people in my choir who I didn't necessarily know were amazing at guitar, or an amazing drummer, and seeing them at River City and just kind of having those those connections, and seeing other people that do have that solid the classical music and the stuff that we do in choir and band and orchestra, and also love to rock.
That's cool.
I think one of the best things that's come out of this is these kids have become friends. They share something, and they go and do things together and hang out, and they go to concerts, and they share music. And we took a little break during Christmas, and it was like a big reunion. They were all hugging each other, and I missed you, and that sort of a thing. And that sense of community is really important, and something different.
How many? They're there one night a week. Do you have things going on every night of the week, or is it?
Monday nights we have our program, and that is our Pop Rocks and Young Rockers. That's from 5:30 to 7, and then we have our adult program on Monday night. And then Tuesday night is this program, and then on Wednesday nights we do individual lessons.
So where would one go to get more information about?
So obviously, social media is always a great place. So if you go to River City Rockstar Academy, as far as Facebook and Instagram and all those things, we're there. And also our website is rcrockstaracademy.com.
rcrockstaracademy.com.
Yes.
Great. Well, check them out at Shotskis next weekend, and then look for their show in April. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Hi, welcome to Isaac's Corner, which is, I don't know, I guess Robert came up with it. I guess it's his idea of alliteration or something. Well, you'll probably remember that last week I was a little upset because, Robert and Heather kind of, they put me between a rock and a hard place, which is Robert wanting me to insult people and Heather wanting me to cudgel them. So last week you'll remember that I didn't have anything to say because I wasn't allowed to say anything. But I finally found a way to get around their contradictory parameters. And I was all set to do that today, but then I got here and learned that we were doing 2 shows, which means that I have to do 2 rants. And first of all, why does it have to be rants? Why does every opinion I give have to be an angry tirade? Why can't they just let me speak nicely about things? Why do they have to assume that I don't have anything nice to say about people? It's just insulting. The premise of this show is insulting to me. But that's beside the point. And I really shouldn't. I really shouldn't expect more from them. I mean, they can barely do their jobs. Really. I mean, I get here and they can't. There's a clock up in the corner that tells us how much time we have. They can't focus on that. They can't do that. And Robert, he can't have the TV on, the monitor back there, which shows what's on the camera, because if it was on, he would only look at that. He would only look at his face. He would pay no attention to the guests, no attention to Heather. He would not ask questions. He would not respond to people speaking to him, saying his name. You could shake him, and he would just keep staring right at that picture of himself. I mean, really, they're narcissists, and they can't tell time. Why would I expect more from them? Oh, well, there you go.
All right, so
Wow.
we've got Time Stand Still.
Keizer
That's,
Homegrown Theater.
Tonight and next weekend. And then next weekend is the River City Rock Academy. That sounds like an interesting show at Shotsky's. Haven't been there yet, have you?
I've just really enjoyed getting to know more about them. I knew very little about the program, so I'm really excited
Have
to
you
see
been
more.
to Shotsky's yet?
Oh, no, I haven't been to Shotsky's,
It's
sorry.
in the old Lefties downtown
On State
Street.
Street.
Yeah. So Heather and I also saw True West, which closes tonight at Verona.
Yes.
Thoughts about that show?
Just a powerful piece, really great ensemble, just a stunning script. I don't know how to put it any other way.
Yeah,
it was very shocking.
It's nice to see things that are contemporary and kind of, now where we're relating to it in a different way than watching some shows that, aren't recycled, but that we see a lot of the time in kind of the same story. Heather and I are also involved in the CrossFit Open right
Yes.
now. So
I actually am not I'm doing the workouts, but I'm not
No.
participating. But Robert is kind of the
past competitor
scaled.
though in the CrossFit Open.
Robert is a scaled master.
So you will see Heather and I's physically transform before your eyes.
Oh, yes,
over
it's
the next
5
5
weeks.
And
Oh.
let's see, this week we did a combination of squat cleans,
double unders,
and
Toes
high
to
knees,
bars.
toes to bars. So
Yeah.
that was I'm still feeling that workout.
Well, they keep us busy over there.
Well, and our goal is to every guest that comes on Cherry City Punch is encouraged to join at least one CrossFit workout. And Jeff Sanders from last week has already done that.
Yes.
Mark Green is a CrossFitter as
that's
well.
true.
It's a tight little community. Taylor's done CrossFit.
That's right.
And then who else did we have on last week?
Well, I don't think they were involved in CrossFit. Debbie Neal or Tim.
Debbie
Gaynor,
Neal, no, they don't.
think so.
Oh yeah, I forgot. And Frank, which is a great show. I'll see it, but no, I don't think they're CrossFitting. So.
We definitely want to thank our sponsors at this point,
Yes.
Wandering Angus, also Anthem Cider. We are very thankful for all of your support.
If you're interested in sponsoring the Cherry City Punch, send us an email, cherrycitypunch@gmail.com. Check out our Facebook page, Cherry City Punch. We're on Instagram, Cherry City Punch.
And if you have any ideas or want to be on the show, just let us know.
Next week, David Ballantyne and Curleen Nowickus talking about music, theater, and opera in Salem, plus the Salem Theater Network and what they're doing. Thanks for having us in your house. Goodbye.